Hello everyone, this is Rose and you have found Flosstube channel Untwist Your Stitches. For anyone who is a subscriber, welcome back. For anyone who has just found me, welcome, and I hope that I can inspire you with some of my stitching or encourage you to try something new or just have some fun. We're in the middle of November. Next Thursday if you're in the United States, will be our Thanksgiving celebrations, and that is something that we all look forward to. And then after that, of course, everybody knows Christmas is right on the doorstep. So let's get started. I have a few things I want to say before we get into really the stitching and all that. One thing is I've been watching some Flosstubes where the people have come back and said that they wanted to apologize because either they had promoted a product that somebody was not happy with, or they had not said something about a news situation. And I just want you to know that on my channel, I will not apologize. These are my opinions. These are my crafts. This is what I have to say. If I offend somebody, there are hundreds of Flosstube channels out there. You can go ahead and find a different one that is more in tune with your views or your opinions, but I will not apologize for anything I say on my Flosstube, other than if I, curse or something like that. My channel, so if that's not something that you can deal with, I encourage you to go ahead and find a different Flosstuber that you can enjoy more, but I won't be apologizing. The second thing is most of my WIPs will not be ironed. If this is something that annoys you or makes your skin crawl or whatever, I'm sorry, but my WIPs are not ironed. Once I finish something, I wash it, I iron it, and I fully finish it. Other than that, I don't. So just be aware. That is another thing I will not apologize for. It is the way I do things, and sorry. So usually I have a story from previous years when I was first stitching, or something that I have been very proud of completing. Not this time. This time I have a question for the for the cross-stitching, embroidering community, even I guess sewing, crocheting. And it's something that was brought up to me by another person who I thought we were good friends and could exchange views with, but she became very animated. And I just would like to know from the Flosstubers or the people that watch Flosstube, what your opinion on the conversation we had is. So the situation came about because we were talking about new starts, WIPs, that kind of thing. So what she did was she told me that the way I counted how many WIPs I have is incorrect. She said my way of counting a WIP just does not compute with the general cross-stitch community, that I'm doing it wrong. And she needs to come to my house and count my WIPs and count my new starts and tell me how I should be categorizing what I'm doing. So what happened was I have a booklet from Zweigert of snowman heads. And it's one for each month. And they're just the heads with different decorations on them. And I am doing one at a time. I've got January done, and I had just begun February. The way I count this is one WIP. Yes, there are 12 different heads. I am stitching each head on its own piece of material, and they will be each finished as a pillow when I get done. But because I only stitch on one at a time, when I finish one, I start another one. I count that as one WIP. I don't count that as 12 WIPs. I count it as one because I only ever stitch on one at a time. She told me no, that is incorrect. That is not how you do it. Each snowman head will be a new start and it will be a new WIP. Well, I questioned her on this because I said, okay, the way it comes in the book is you're supposed to do them all on the Afghan fabric, the like what I'm doing my granddaughter's alphabet on. So if it was all on one piece of fabric, would you still say it was a new start and a new WIP? And she said, no, it'd just be one WIP because it's all on the same fabric. So to me, that doesn't make sense. Regardless of if I'm stitching it on one piece of fabric or if I'm stitching it on 12 pieces of fabric, to me, because I'm only stitching one head at a time, that's one WIP. I don't understand why it would be 12 WIPs and why I would have to say, oh, this is a new start. Just because, I mean, she even said that if I stitched them all on one piece of fabric and then cut them apart and then made them into pillows, that would only be one WIP. So I just don't understand. Is it one WIP? Is it 12 WIPs? Am I confusing people when I say I only have, right now I have 11 WIPs, 11 progress pieces. There are 11 things that I have in project bags that I am actively working on. I have 2 projects that are currently in timeout because I just don't have any place to work on them, and they're very large. But she says that the cross-stitch community thinks her way of counting WIPs and new starts is correct, and the vast majority think my way of counting is wrong, and I'm confusing people by telling them that I only have 11 WIPs when in her mind I have 23 because each snowman head is a WIP, even though I haven't started more than one, even though I'm not working on more than one, I am doing it wrong. So I would like to know what your opinion is. She also told me that I can't count a work in progress unless I have like 200 stitches on it. Well, some of my projects, well, I guess most of my projects would have more than 200 stitches before completion. But in my mind, the way I do it is as soon as I put one stitch in and I've got the pattern and I've got it kitted up, and it's in a project bag and I'm making crosses on the fabric, to me that's a WIP. I don't care if it has 1 stitch in it or if it has 10,000 stitches in it. A WIP is a WIP. If it's got a stitch in it and you're working on it and it's active, that's a WIP. So I'd like you to, leave me a comment and just let me know. Am I wrong? Am I doing something wrong? Am I confusing the community? Do I need to start changing my verbiage? I mean, to show you what I've bought. And I call them my Postal Prizes. Even if I go to a LNS, I still call it a Postal Prize. So, my first one today is this Mad for Plaid project bag. It's So Emma, and it's the berry color. It's a really cute red plaid, and I got that. And what I plan to stitch on that one is these strawberries. I've had this pattern in my stash for some time. I've been trying to figure out a good place to use it, and it was a freebie from it was 2001 Design Potpourri Series March Smiling Strawberries. I'm not sure if you can still find them. It was a free pattern. I got it on the internet, but I just think it's really sweet. And I think on that red plaid, it will look very cute. So that's what that project is going to be. And I bought the bag. I also was on Etsy lately, and I really should ban myself from Etsy because I'm always buying something. I think we all do. It's more than just a site for finding inspiration. But anyway, I bought this fabric. It is 16 count Aida, and it's called, the name of it is Historic Ivory, and it's got this design on it, printed on it. It's just, it's a one-way fabric. The back of it is not dyed. It's just dyed on the front here. But I just thought it was really pretty. And I've got a pattern. It's in the process of coming to me. And I know exactly what I'm going to put on this because I think it's just going to be absolutely fabulous on this fabric. And so when the pattern comes, I'll show you again the fabric and the pattern together, and I think you'll really like it. The other piece of fabric that I bought was this. It's called Gray Haze. Yeah, hazy gray, sorry. And it's just this mottled gray fabric. Again, it's a 16 count. Another thing I bought on 123, I had run out of a color in the middle of a project, and I was so sure that I had a backup, but I didn't. So I needed to order one DMC because I didn't have the time or the inclination to run up an hour away to buy floss at the Joann's store. So I just ordered it on 123, and it got here in 2 days. So but I didn't want to order just one floss, so I ordered this whole bag. There's several in here I went through my my list and found others that I needed to replenish, and that. And then I found one that I don't have that I decided I just couldn't resist, and it's this DMC, excuse me, let me show you, DMC 53, and it's a gray variegated, and it's so pretty, and I want to find something to, maybe a silhouette of something would look really good with that. So I think I bought 3 or 4 of those. Yeah, I bought this, I had bought this squirrel pattern. It's a cottage garden gathering, let's see, a time for all seasons, and I have the squirrel and I have the bat. Well, they call for, in each pattern, they call for 2 fancy flosses. And I decided I was going to go ahead and do that. Because I just decided that I was going to splurge. These are ones that I don't normally get crazy about. I usually just use the floss, the DMC conversion. But I decided that I really liked these and that I was going to do it. So I went to my local LNS and I bought the Weeks Dye Works Coal and Mocha, and they will be used in the bat and the squirrel. I bought enough for both of them, and I really like them. I like the variegation of it, and it's going to be fun when I get to it and stitch it to go ahead and have those fancy flosses. And I love the fact that there's only 2 fancy flosses, that the rest of it is all DMC, so you're not spending a lot of money kitting these projects up and having them in your stash. The next one I did is I decided to get some fancy floss for my cardinal kin. Like I said, I just decided that I was going to go ahead and do that. One is Cayenne. Let's see if I can do this so you can see it a little bit better. This is Cayenne. This is Grits. And I believe this is Coal again. Yes. And this is, whoops, so the Coal. All Weeks Dye Works, and they're going to be really fun when I get going on my cardinal kin. So I've got that all from my same LNS. I also decided that I wanted to get some variegated floss to do my Zuka pattern. It is the pumpkin from Alessandra Adelaide. And I've seen a lot of people are just like me, and they are doing theirs in white rather than the orange. And I decided that I wanted to have a variegated, so it would give it just a little bit more oomph. So the main portion of the pumpkin is going to be done in, it is Weeks Dye Works White Lightning. And there's a nice variegation to that. I don't know if it's showing real well on this white background, but it's got a really pretty variegation to it. And then in the pattern, there's some areas that have like designs in them. And I'm going to do a few of the designs in this silk and a few in the Summer Storm to give it some added depth. And then the leaves and the stem at the top. I'm not sure. Maybe this is the stem, and the leaves are going to be this green. I've got to dig my notes out and remind myself what I had decided on that. But this is for my Zuka pumpkin, and that's the next one that's going to be a new start. I almost have my Crabby All Year complete. I've got one more session to work on it this year, and I'll have it done in that session. And then Zuka is going to come out, and I am going to stitch on it. And then, you know, there's always a color that grabs your eye when you're shopping in an LNS, and these two did it for me. This is Cadet, and this is Fire. And I'm not sure what I'll use these for, but they're very pretty, and I couldn't resist. So there's those two. And they're just going to go in my stash and be used for whatever grabs my fancy. When I need a nice green or a nice red, that's where I'll take it from. While I was there, I was looking around, and they had a grab bag, and it was free. It said, take a bag. And they just had a selection of different flosses and items. Some had some beads in them. Some had some, I think one had like a thread, a needle threader. But the one that I decided to get is, and I'm not going to be able to hold all of them at the same time, but this was in my free grab bag. There's some anchor, there's some, yeah, these are all of these four are anchor. This one is DMC, and see, it had been somehow snagged. I think this is a Sullivan. Yeah, this is a Sullivan. I'm not a big fan of Sullivan thread. I don't like the way it feels. But it was in the grab bag, and there's only one of them, so not that big a deal. Some velvet. A couple of discontinued specialty threads. And, I mean, it was free. How can you pass up free stuff? It just... It was sitting there and just begging to come home. So I did. I grabbed I needed to go to Hobby Lobby. And of course, you never come home with just one thing. But these were on sale, or on clearance. They were getting rid of them. And I thought, wouldn't that make a great frame for a finished piece? So I got a couple of these brown, and then I got a couple of the black. And I know I'm going to be able to find something to finish and put on those. And now, oh, I wanted to tell you, my local LNS, it is in Morgan Hill, California. And the name of it is Stitched Up. So now we are going on to our WIPs. WIP Go this last month. When I did my last video, I had finished my first number, and I was heading into my second. And my second piece is, let's see, Crabby All Year by Raise the Roof. It's not a pattern that is easy to find. It came in 4 sections, and there's 3 months at a time that you get in each section. And this is where I was when I started on October 16th. And I got a lot done. Those little squares work up really fast. So I got a large section of my Crabby All Year worked. And let's see. Let me scoot back up. Oh, excuse me. I am so sorry. Let me scoot back. So I finished filling in the tax paper. I did April is the rabbit. May is bugs. June is heat. July is weeds. August is leaves. Is that right? October, November. Yeah, that's right. August. November is Halloween and zombies. And I got started on November, which is relatives. But that's all the farther I got because it came to the end of the month and I had to put this away and go to my next, my WIPs for November. But this is so close to being done. And it is called for again on my board in December. So I will finish this and it will be complete and I'll get all the buttons put onto it. And I'm not sure how I'm going to finish it yet. I'm still debating on a few different ways of finishing it. But it's, at least it'll be completely stitched. And and then when this one is done, then I'll pull Zuka and put it into my rotation, my stitching rotation in place of Crabby All Year. But yeah, that is done for November's WIP Go. The numbers that were called was number 3 and number 8. Number 3 is my baby blanket for my granddaughter. And I got a good amount of that stitched. When I worked on it before, I had finished M. Oops, come on, don't do this. Don't do this. Okay, I had finished M, and that's the little Stony Creek mouse from Stony Creek's, I believe it's the Woodland Babies. And I will show you how far I got. I got 4. I can't count. Yes, I got 4 squares. I'm so sorry. I got 4 squares completed. This one is, and these next 3 squares, I had to I had to input into my pattern maker. I use PC Stitch pattern maker because I needed to know where everything was going to fit. Now this is not my design. I'm using designs from kits or from books that I have. This is from one of my baby books, and this one here is from a sewing book that I have, but I put it all together for this square. So I had to input it into my pattern keeper to graft it out. This one, and you're probably not going to be able to see it very well, but the basket is full of back stitching. Now, I don't mind back stitching. I have no problem using back stitching to get the effect that I want, but it is, I'm not sure. Can you see how much back stitching is in there? in order to get the effect of a basket weave. And then this one is her date of birth and the time. And then number 9, excuse me, square N is a narwhal. And this was a free pattern that I found online. And I will have to look it up. I forgot to bring the information for you. I did some color changes to make it more realistic. This was done in blue and purple. So I went and I found a picture of a narwhal and I colored it in more to keeping with a natural color scheme. But that is how far I got on the baby Afghan. So I have 20 squares complete and I have 15 more to go, because I'm not just doing the alphabet, I'm also adding in some, I added in their mom and dad, I added in her name, date of birth, weight. I'll add in the hospital that she was born in. I'm adding in the family names, both our name and her mom's family name. So each one of those squares will have something to do with animals on them. But that is where I'm going. This one I won't be pulled out until next year, but it is going to be a focus piece for me next year because I want to get it done sooner rather than later. I don't want it to drag on for a few, another year. I want to have it done. I would like it to have it done in the first 3 months of the year, but I'm not sure if that is realistic with everything that's going on. So number 8 on my WIP Go board is my Heaven and Earth Christmas Cottage, which is the snowman. I've showed you a couple times. What the design is. It's a Donna Gesslinger, and it's this. It's designed by it's a artwork by Donna Gesslinger and patterned by Heaven and Earth. The last time I worked on it, I finished a page, so I had a page finish, and it looked like this. And I picked it up on the, actually I only worked on it one night. So I've only worked on it on this last night, which is the 17th. And I got just a little bit of the chair worked up. So all this dark brown in here and some of the yellow for the chair is what I've done so far. But I'm happy with it. It's working up pretty quick. Not as much confetti in this area, so it's coming together quite nicely. This is my setup when I'm stitching. It's a Kay's Creation Z stand, easy stand. What is the name of it? Anyway, it's a Kay's Creation stand, and I stitch using the Q-snaps. That's my little needle minder that I made for myself, and that's where I'm at. So I will work on this until the end of November, and started. Oh. This is part of that series also. A Time for All Seasons. It's the October 31st. Number 10. And a lot of people have done this. I love the white pumpkin. And this is how far I got with him. Now I've changed the colors on the pumpkin to make it stand out more. I'm using for the crow. I could not find, it calls for raven. Could not find it. Had to use black crow. So my crow is a little bit darker than what the pattern is kitted for. There's also tin bucket in this crow, and that I did find. I was able to get the tin bucket. But for the pumpkin, again, I decided I wanted a little more definition to it. So I bought this Weeks Dye Works parchment, and it's got, where am I going to find something to put it behind? There. It's got a nice variegation to it. A little bit of cream in there, a little bit of white, a little bit of ecru. And it really, in real life, it comes out very well. So that is my progress from the last time I showed you on October 31st. And this is a unknown linen 28 count over 2. So basically 14 count. But it stitches up really, really fast. It doesn't take you any time at all to get a lot of progress on this pattern. It's very nice, and I'm excited to pull it back out the next time I'm able to and get the rest of it finished, because I'm pretty sure the next time I pull it out, within a week, I should have everything done, because all I have is a little bit of the pumpkin left and then this border, and it'll be complete. And then I'll be able to start something new. Now, what I'll start, I don't know. That's something that I've got to figure out. But by saying that I had a new start, I had a new start, and I had a finish and a full finish, all in the same project. And it is another one of these orange Mad for Plaid bags by It's So Emma. And the pattern is from Shepherd's Bush. It's the Scary pattern. Its name is Scary, obviously. And I did make some changes. The lettering was supposed to be done in purple. Because I put it on an orange bag rather than a gray bag, I decided I wanted it in black. And then I think I changed the color, this yellow. I brightened that up because it was more of a dull, flat yellow, and I wanted the sunflowers to be brighter. And then here, where the spider is, that's supposed to be stitched. However, all of the other bags have 2 or 3 buttons on them. And this one didn't have any buttons, and I wanted a button on here. So I went into my stash and I found this cute little spider. And he basically fits about the same as what the stitch spider would have been. So I just did that instead. And that is my new start, finish, and full finish. And it's being used right away because what I have done is I have put my October 31 into my scary bag. And that's where it will be living until it's finished. And it fits in there just very nicely. Again, my Q snaps. What I do with my Q snaps, I don't know if other people do it, but I have found this to work very well. In any pharmacy section of a grocery store or a pharmacy or basically anywhere, Target, Walmart, they have what they call paper tape, and it's for, you know, if you're if you need to put a Band-Aid on and you don't want to use a real heavy adhesive, this paper tape has a real light adhesive to it. So what I do is I wrap my Q snaps in this paper tape, and it gives it a little bit of a grab so that your fabric is not moving around on it. And then on the inside of my snaps, I also put one piece of this paper tape on the inside here. And again, it gives it a little bit more grab. You're not slipping around as much, especially in my opinion, linen moves on these Q snaps a lot. So by putting this around the pipe and also on the snap, it holds it tighter for you. So it's just something that I've come up with. I don't know if other people have tried it, but I find it very, very helpful in getting my stuff put on there. Thing that you've seen before when I finished it, but now it is in its little box and it is fully finished. And that is Mr. and Mrs. Easter. And it's in this, it's not a shadow box. It was just, they were stacking boxes. They came 4 stacked together, and I stained it and I clear coated it, and then I put my I put this in, and it is removable. It's got the magnets in it. I've done this kind of finish in the past for different things, and you can, you know, you can use the same box and just change out the design. So that is my fully finished. Now, I still think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another magnet here up on top, and then I'm going to make a nice little bow in multicolors to go up here. And I just haven't done that yet. I haven't really had time to find the colors that I want to put in the bow. So that will be a little bit more blingy, I guess. So the new start, the haul, the fully finished. Okay, so that's basically the main part of my, oh, I'm sorry. I have something else to show you. If you are a follower of Handmade by Sarah W., she is doing an SAL for just for fun, I guess is what you would call it. Her and her sister do a lot of stitching together, so they do a lot of SALs. And she wanted to include other stitchers in this. So she came up with the idea that she would pick a pattern, and then it's a freebie from, it's this one. It's Hands-on Design, Berries in Bloom. And it's, if you can see that, it's got the Merry Christmas, or the Merry, and then it's got a Christmas wreath of berries around it. And it's not very big. It is, let's see, the design size is 65 by 64. And it is a pattern from 2020. And it's a freebie on the Hands-on Design website. So she encouraged us to pick a fabric. She did a giveaway where she had it fully kitted up, but I decided I wanted to do my own colors, at least on the fabric. So I didn't ask to be part of that giveaway, but these are the colors that will be used. Let's see. They're all DMCs, and there we go. And this is the fabric that I am going to use. It's a 14 count Aida. And it's kind of a mottled green. I don't know if it's coming through very well. No, it's not. It's not showing the green. It's more of a very light, what would I call it? Evergreen, but a light evergreen, not a dark evergreen. Well, anyway, this is my fabric that I'm going to use. And I'm all set. I've got my pattern, I've got my fabric, I've got my floss, and I'm all set. I believe she said we were going to start November 20th. I'm going to have to go back and review her latest Flosstube. It's Flosstube. If you're interested in joining along, it's Flosstube number 13 by handmade by Sarah W. And she's really fun to watch. She's got some gorgeous pieces, and she's just, oh, she's such a good stitcher. So if you've not seen her before, I encourage you to go and look at her floss tubes, because they're just really wonderful. Now, I am putting a new section into my videos. It's called Name Dropping. And what it is people that have mentioned me, or people that I have been watching on Flosstube, just to give you some ideas of some people and to thank those that have made mention of me. Cross Stitch the Globe, Stephanie and Allison mentioned me in one of their Flosstubes. And Gammy Stitcher, her name is Leona, she also mentioned me, and I appreciate that so much. I really love that they thought it was worth giving me a shout out to the stitching community. And I did get a nice boost in subscribers from them mentioning my Flosstube. Now, some of the ones that I have, they're new to me. They may not be new to you. Some of them have a pretty high count number, so you may have already seen them, but I'm going to give them a shout out in case you haven't. Linen and Scraps, it's a couple of great ladies. They have a lovely banter with each other. They obviously have been friends for a long time. Floss Boss and Cousins, again, their back and forth is just lovely. They obviously have a very good relationship, and they've been friends and cousins for quite some time, and they've got some great stitching to show you. Needleberry Stitcher, I did not write down her name, but I'm sure if you go, and all of these I will link. I'll put a link in the description box when I fill it out. Criss Cross Stitch, he has some really awesome stitching that he is showing, and he's fun to watch. He's got great personality for floss tubing. Um, Also, I because of crisscross stitching, I found Sew Me Sarah. She is a lady in Ireland, and she's got some really great stuff to look at, and it's fun to see stitchers that aren't in your local area, and what they're stitching and some of the things that they do. And she's talked about a retreat that she recently went to. Um, she's got some great haul. She's got some really good stitching. So give her a look. And then the SABLE Stitchers. SABLE as in stitch acquisition beyond life expectancy. And these two ladies just are really fun to go and listen to and to see what they're up to. It's not just cross stitching with them. They do wool applique, they do quilting. They've got a lot of different crafts that they show you. So if you're looking at something more than just cross stitch, they're a good option to go to. And of course, I want to give a big shout out and a big hug and lots of good wishes to Jane from Running with Stitches, or Running with Scissors. I'm sorry, Running with Scissors, Stitching with Jane and Julie. Jane has had some health issues and was in the hospital for a few days, and I just want to tell her that we're thinking of her and we're hoping that she gets better soon, and we just can't wait for her to come back, because that is my absolute favorite floss tube to watch. Now, a couple of other things that are out there if you want to go and look for them. Nora Corbett was at the Queen City Stitch Retreat, and she did a Q&A. I think it's about an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes long. It's on YouTube if you want to go and look for it. But she's got some it's really interesting to listen to how she creates her designs and how she goes about figuring out what she's going to do next. And it's a really good watch. So if you haven't seen it, go and give it a look. There's also the Jingle Ball. I know a lot of floss tubers are talking about it. I did get a ticket. I only got the main event ticket because I'm just not sure yet. This will be my first year of participating with it, but it looks like a lot of fun. There's a lot of things you can do. There's classes that you can take. It's all online. It's all online. It starts December 1st. It goes December 1, 2, and 3. There's all sorts of things. There's getting to know designers. There's a lot going on. So go give that a look. Again, I will put a link to how you can get to the information about it in the comments below. Also, Tiger Lily from TigerLilyDesigns. She has a 12 days of Stitchmas coming up starting December 1st. She's going to do a video each day. She's going to show 2 small businesses that she wants to promote and encourage people to go and look at. So that starts on December 1st. It's called 12 Days of Stitchmas. If you want more information about it, go to her Flosstube, TigerLilyDesigns. It's Flosstube number 68. And just give her a look and see what she is doing. I have bought her Advent box and can't wait to have it show up. I just looked before I started filming, and it's supposed to be here on Monday, and it's going to be great. I'm going to be one of those people that waits until December 1st and open each of the 12 surprises that's in the box on each consecutive day so that there's 12 days of fun before Christmas. And yeah, that's just something that if you want to go and have a look at. She's also, during her 12 days of Stitchmas, she is going to be giving out prizes and all sorts of giveaways and things like that. So give her a look. Otherwise, I think that's it for this time. Thank you for following along with me. I hope I've shown you some things that you can appreciate, and have a great Thanksgiving. If you're in the United States, be thankful for everything you have. Even if you're not in the United States, just be thankful. Be appreciative of everything that you've got. There is so much out there, and there's something to be thankful for every day. And I am thankful for my viewers. I am thankful for the other floss tubers, and I love this community. This is a great community. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in December sometime. Okay, guys, sorry. I had to pop back in real quick. I forgot to tell you, I have some new items in my Etsy shop. It is these scissor holders. They are wooden dowels with a wooden button that is their stand. And you put your scissors in here, and hopefully it won't get lost. You'll keep it next to wherever you're stitching, and it holds your scissors, and you can keep it in a safe place. At the beginning of the video, you saw a quick little panorama of all the new ones that I have made. I just wanted to show you up close some of the ones that I will be putting in my shop. I hope to get them loaded into the shop today or tomorrow. They'll make great little gifts for Christmas, for a stitching friend, or something just for yourself. But yeah, I just wanted to add that in. Should have done it during the regular video, but you know, sometimes you get going and you think you've got everything in and you don't. So bye again. These are all of my new scissor holders that I have made and will be available on my Etsy shop as soon as I can get them uploaded.